welcome to New Game Plus. I'm Tim, and I'm joined by Kirsty once again.
I know, I'm finally back, and just a little bit browner.
Just a little bit,
but you're quite white, so it's quite easy to be a little bit browner than you. It is, it's nice. It's good fun for our editors. But yes, while I was away, got to catch up on some cool games. You know, the 3DS is made of Nintendium, so I left it in the sand for half the time, and it was absolutely fine. But, you know, it was a really interesting week being away.
Yeah, and certainly some games have come forward and then
gone away.
Yeah, gone away in that week. So
it's crazy,
we'll be looking at that.
Yes.
Flappy Bird's the iOS sensation.
Man, it's driving everybody mad at the moment because, you know, you had to have downloaded it before it got absolutely pulled. But another great thing we're covering in today's episode is the Japanese Summer Festival, which is something that a bunch of us got to go to a couple of weeks ago. And it just happened to fall on a 40-degree day.
Yeah, not pleasant.
Was boiling. And it was held at Fed Square. Now, for the Melburnians out there, you know what I'm talking about. For you non-Melburnians, it's basically a stone desert. And it's the most, like, awful piece of architecture, so it was boiling, but it was still heaps of fun. Like, the guys still put on a great show, and it was so much fun. So we've got some cool content covered for that.
And something that's very close to my heart, a developer that I absolutely love that did Left 4 Dead, Turtle Rock Studios. They're making a new game called Evolve, and a new face, Jason Evans, will be interviewing some of the devs.
Yes, and we've also got another new face helping you to talk about The Elder Scrolls Online.
So myself and Jordan were able to get some early access to The Elder Scrolls Online beta. And we're having a quick preview of that.
All right, well, let's go straight into your review of Octodad, the Dadliest Catch.
Now, Don, if you were to say to me, how could I make a game so unbelievably stupid yet endearing that, like, Jason would want to rush out and play, what would you pitch? What would be your...
Well, I might have a game where you play a loving father, a caring husband, and you're an octopus in a suit.
Yeah, okay, now, see, Octodad, Dadliest Catch. The whole game is derp the game. Like, even the way the game plays. So, the whole premise of the story is you are a dad who happens to be an octopus. You're trying to fool the family.
But you're an octopus, so trying to do basic chores such as making breakfast or mowing the lawn. You have these gangly octopusian limbs which just stretch you everywhere, and it just becomes a physics exercise, basically.
And it is, and I think that's what I like the most about it, because you really take for granted a spine after you play this game, trying to like pour drinks and stuff. But I've always loved physics puzzles. I think it was the reason I could stand Duke Nukem forever. I think it was the reason I liked Half-Life 2. I like physics puzzles. This whole game is physics puzzles tarted up in, like...
slapstick.
100%.
That's what it is, basically. And just seeing Octodad just go through these basic things, going through the supermarket, and just screwing up along the way. Hell, they even have stray banana peels just laying in the middle of the road, because why not? You're going down the... you're getting married, and you're slipping on banana peels. And that's the other thing that I like about Octodad, that I find endearing about it, is that it manages to play almost completely straight.
Yeah, like there's no self-awareness. It's kind of, oh, he's our dad and he looks after. I don't want to know how he managed to have human children. We leave that for the internet.
We'll leave that to deviant art.
Yeah, but I mean, the whole game itself. I mean, other people aren't going to enjoy it. People are going to say that there's not enough to it.
It is a rather short game.
It is, and I think that's probably the biggest problem with it, particularly if you played the demo, I'm told. But for me, it was fun, it was derpy.
I liked it when it was the slapstick adventure it was. It eventually tried to become a game, but then it just got frustrating.
Yeah,
but everything before that point was still just an absolute delight.
I agree, and you should definitely use a controller and not a mouse.
I used a mouse, it was fine.
Yeah, it was fine. What am I saying?
Well, I've played this game as well, and I don't know if I share the same excitement about it, because Octodad, Dadliest Catch, best title ever, maybe setting the bar a bit too high with the title, and then like the gameplay is very like clumsy. It's very difficult to control with. Yeah,
with this kind of weird control system, once it was explained to me like how to actually play this game, I was like, this is just like QWOP. Like that crazy Flash game. So I'm like, I want to go and watch all the Rage Quit videos of Octodad now, because even just like trying to pick up items got so complicated.
It's not that difficult. Like you get the hang of it eventually. It is just very clumsy when you first start. And controller is certainly a lot easier than mouse. So the one game that I'll play on PC with a controller. And it does have a lot of charm to it, but I mean, there's not a lot of humour. I found that I was just getting through it to finish it, and it's fairly short as well.
Fair enough. Well, see, I kind of got
everyone
some
loves
of
it.
the... Yeah,
So.
well, see, I think the kind of slapstick humour... You know, you make your own humour within it just because of the clumsy way in which you're kind of acting. And I found some of the lines really wishy in it as well, like some of the dialogue between, you know, your wife, and it's like, does nobody realise he's an octopus?
Yeah.
Like, does nobody see this? Like, it's like one of those things. It's like, I'm missing. It feels like an in joke.
Yeah.
It feels, you know, it feels like dive kick. It's like, this is funny for a bunch of people because there's something I've missed here. But I thought it was really sweet. You would probably have to be living on one of the moons of Jupiter to have missed talking about this game. It is Flappy Bird by Gears Studios, which is basically just Dong Nguyen, and that's it. So the whole game itself is incredibly simple. So literally you are a little bird and you have to press the screen to jump and go between these pipes. And the pipes are very Mario-esque, which I'll touch on later. But anyway, the whole reason I believe that this game is so popular and just became so popular is the fact that the gameplay is so simplistic yet so brutal at the same time. Obviously, you have to time your jumps really perfectly, you have to move up and down, but other than that, you just simply get a number of how many pipes you went through and maybe a medal if you're half good enough, and that's it. And people are whinging and crying left, right, and centre on social media about the fact they can barely get above 10. Other than that, the game has nothing else. The advertising is unobtrusive for once. There are no power-ups. There doesn't seem to be a way to spend any money on this game. Now, the art style itself is also really, really sweet. Obviously, the pipes look like they're from Super Mario, so that probably had the Nintendo lawyers on the phone and led to this game being removed from the iTunes store. But other than that, the gameplay is just really, really charming. The weird thing about this is there is no background music. However, there is noise when you jump, when you get through pipes, and when you die. So there tends to be a lot of noise going on. But other than that, the gameplay is brutally simple yet brutally difficult. People are going to be whinging about this for days and spending obscene amounts of money to try and download this game once more. But other than that, let's see if you can beat my high score.
Ohayou gozaimasu! We're here at the Japanese Summer Festival in Melbourne and it's really hot.
Yeah, it's actually really hot. We'll get past that though because everything here is fantastic at the moment.
Yeah, it's got so much going on, so let's just jump straight into it. Konnichiwa from the Japanese Summer Festival here in Melbourne, and I'm joined by Anatoly, who is one of the organisers of this great little festival. How are you?
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're absolutely welcome. So tell us a bit about what's going on at this Japanese Summer Festival.
Well, basically the Summer Festival is run by the Japanese Chamber of Commerce and Industry and the Japanese Society of Melbourne. And it's a summer festival held right here in Melbourne that honours the Japanese tradition of the Obon Festival, which is where we give respect to one's ancestors. And traditionally this will take place in July or August, which is summertime in Japan, but we have it in February every year here.
Oh, it's good because it's currently almost getting towards 40 degrees now. Now it's a bit hotter than what it would be in Japan, isn't it?
Yeah, so it ties in with the summer theme very well here.
So what are some of the kind of activities you've got going on here at the festival?
Well, one of the highlights of the festival is the Bon Odori dance, which takes place on the stage behind us. And that's the traditional dance that is performed at the Obon Festival that gives thanks to ancestors who have passed. So that's one of the major cultural highlights of the festival. And we have a number of game stalls, Japanese merchandise stalls, food stalls all along the river terrace down there. And we also have a handicraft artist, Minori Baba, who's come in from Japan, and she's making beautiful sculptures out of candy. So I think that's quite interesting.
So that sounds also very delicious.
Yes, it does.
Now, there's also a few people walking around in like yukata and dress-ups as well. So you've got a bit of a show going on for that?
Yes, we do. Actually, this year is the first time that we've introduced a cosplay competition, or we'll also put that into traditional and contemporary dressing competition for the festival this year. So that's something new for this year's festivities. We noticed that there was a lot of people coming dressed up at last year's festival, so we thought it would be a good addition to the festival for this year.
So what's your favourite thing that's going on today?
I would have to say it's the game stalls. Yeah, we have a balloon yo-yo game stall, and they're just the colours. I think that really, for me, it highlights the vibrancy of Japanese culture. The colours and the cute like little sizes and everything, and it really represents how much of a niche culture the Japanese culture is, especially within the city of Melbourne.
Yes. Well, I can hear some of the drums starting in the background. We sound like we've got some more partying to do here. Thank you so much. Thanks for such a great festival as well. And we'll see you next time.
Thank you. You're so welcome.
We've reached the end of the Japanese Summer Festival. What was your highlight, Khan?
Highlight, a lot of the food. Like down the Yarra River, there's plenty of food stalls and everything. So I just looked, had a sensory overload. It was great.
Yeah, and I loved all the costumes. Loved seeing the yukata, but it is that time. Sayonara.
Hi, I'm Jason and we're here at the Australian Museum in Sydney checking out 2K Games' new title, Evolve. Let's go see what all the hype's about. We're here with Mike Boccieri, the senior producer at 2K Games in America. Mike, could you tell us a little bit about how 2K got involved with Evolve itself?
Sure thing. So earlier this year, at the start of 2013, THQ, another publisher that had previously been working with Turtle Rock on Evolve, unfortunately they went bankrupt. And so when it came time for auction, we put in a bid that we thought was a strong bid, and we got our exactly what we wanted, which was to be able to work with Turtle Rock Studios to bring Evolve to the public.
Evolve is a 4v1 competitive cooperative multiplayer experience. It's set in a sci-fi frontier world on a planet called Sheer, where we pit 4 hunters of unique classes with unique abilities and items against a powerful evolving player-controlled monster.
Sure. Now we've got the 4 classes. Could you tell us a little bit about them and perhaps what your favorite role is out of all of them?
Sure. The 4 classes of Hunter are Assault, and the Assault class is primarily the damage dealer, like a bullet hose. Of course, we have the Trapper class. It's probably the most unique class that we have. His primary role is to track, trap, corral the monster, generally try to control the monster's movements. We have a medic class. Medic class is also pretty straightforward to people who are used to playing class-based games. Your primary goal is to keep your teammates alive. The support class, the primary function is to kind of provide tactical advantage offensively and defensively to the rest of your team, supporting them with things like shields and other various tools like that.
Oh, I'm absolutely a monster player through and through. I love playing as Goliath. He's this hulking brute, full of power and force. Like, he's got the rock throw, ground pound, charge attack. Being in the role of this lone wolf, where at first it's really scary. These guys are kind of coming at you full force. They've got a whole host of abilities, and I have to use my wits to survive, to find the wildlife, stealth around, kind of use strategy in the level, stage up, and then I can bring the fight back to them. And it's like I turn the tide, it's push and pull. The hunter becomes the hunted, or rather the hunted becomes the hunter, and I love that.
Thanks a lot for your time, John. Really appreciate it. Evolve will be out spring for Australian gamers on PC, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4.
Hello, and welcome to Planeswalker Plus. I'm your host, Alice Clark. This week, we are at pre-release for Born of the Gods. Very, very exciting. So, what is it, you ask? We get 6 boosters, and we have to build a deck out of them. And then we have to play other people and crush them till they cry. Or you cry, depending on how you go. So I've got in here, I have 3 Theros boosters. I have a hero card, a nice green special booster, and 2 Born of the Gods boosters. Let's see what I get. And here's Dean to give us a bit more detail about what pre-release is.
Pre-releases are usually awesome events. Good chance for everyone to kind of see all the new cards. And yeah, they're usually pretty fun. Get a good mix of experienced players and new players. So Border of Gods is the second set of 3 for Theros. So what that means is you'll see a lot of similar mechanics coming back. You'll also see some new stuff. So the new mechanic for this set, I believe, is Tribute and Inspired. But there are still heroic cards back from Theros, so that's pretty sweet. And so with the first Theros set, you got a hint of the gods, a hint of all the gods, but you only got 5 of the main gods, and now we're getting 5 other gods. So that's pretty cool. So Sealed's a format where you don't have to bring a deck of your own. Each player will get 6 packs, and what will happen there is they'll get 40 minutes to deck build out of those 6 packs. They don't need to have their own basic lands out of those packs. We have basic lands to lend, and the deck you build will be a minimum of 40 cards. So the basic rules is that you tend to try and cut down towards 2 colors, 3 at the most maybe, and basically 16 to 18 lands. Because of the way that the packs usually end out, you kind of also want to make sure you have a plan for the later end of the game. So we're talking like 6 drops and up. So cards that cost 6 mana or more, you tend to kind of want to look at as to have a high impact on the game. Try to wrap up the game or try to deal with your opponent's things that are at that end. Because in Sealed, you don't get the choices you would get for Constructed, and therefore you tend to run a bit more subpar things than you're used to in Constructed.
So that was Born of the Gods pre-release. We played with some new cards, lost some games, won some games, crushed some souls. It was fun. It's going to be great to see how Born of the Gods changes the way we play in Standard. It could be really, really cool. Or we might have to wait till Journey into Nyx for even cooler cards, which is when the next pre-release is, so you should check that out. But that's it for now. See you next time.
All right, whose face am I gonna sit on first?
Man, I look good. I look so good. I want these boots in real life. Oh, this is gonna hurt. Just go with it.
Uh-oh. Oh, come on! Oh, God, look at all these balls!
There's balls all over this place. I'm on my way. Hang on. Keep going, keep going, keep going.
Hey, what happened to your head?
I have no fucking head!
Here they come, here they come.
They're all around us. Ah, we almost had it.
I'm gonna heal you. Eat your vegetables. Capture egg. Oh, no. Eat the health beans.
Hey, clear the way. I got the whole team here.
Let's stick together.
Go, 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 go. Oh! I can see right through my fucking chest.
Oh, look at us. We're #1.
Grenade out. Rockets out. Everything out.
Oh, I'm not #1.
Gary, I'll finish you off, you son of a bitch.
I'm killing everyone! No!
I've never laughed so hard at something so fucking graphic.
I don't really know what to think of this.
Yeah.
Like, that was an incredibly humorous trailer.
Yes,
like,
of course.
I have to say.
Anything with Rooster Teeth guys is always very humorous.
Yes. But otherwise, it reminds me a lot of Team Fortress. Like that kind of,
does
you
a
know,
bit,
that little bit cartoony, but really cool, overpowered weapons.
Horrifically violent is probably
Yes.
the line that's drawn between Team Fortress and Loadout.
Yes, very, very closely. But still, like, with that kind of cartoony style, the violence is depleted somewhat until you start pointing it out, that the fact that you can see through your chest.
Yes.
And then you're like, oh, yeah, there is a giant gaping hole where my intestine should be. But
it looks fun. It's a free-to-play game on Steam.
see, that's crazy.
Yeah, I guess it comes down to whether it's pay to win, which would be unfortunate. But I'm going to give it a try.
Well,
and
see, the
hopefully
thing
it's
is,
awesome.
I think it could be a lot to do with the weapons, because they were going on about the customization of weapons, so perhaps that's where monetization might come in, is some for the crazy flags and stuff. But yeah, I'm keen to see where this goes.
Well, myself and Jordan here have had a very special 2 weekends because we got early access to The Elder Scrolls Online. Obviously, an unreleased game, but in beta, but we got to have first look at it, and it's an MMO.
That's right, it's an MMO. It's Skyrim. On the core of it really is Skyrim, but it's got all the MMO trappings in there. Playing it does feel a bit more like an MMO. You've got all your spells and classes and whatnot. But yeah, it really is kind of a Skyrim world they've tried to create.
Yeah. And certainly yourself have noticed like some things like no damage, like indicators, and you just have a health bar, no numbers or anything.
Yeah, the HUD is really minimal.
Yeah, it's certainly trying to cater towards that Elder Scrolls feel without being too MMO. Even though you do have, instead of equipping like spells and just melee weapons to hands, it's now action bar like your standard MMO.
Yeah, they've minimised the HUD a fair bit. It's clear they've gone for a more immersive experience with storytelling and lore and narrative, but it doesn't bode so well in an MMO when I'm used to having a lot more feedback with numbers and experience. And there's a lot of things just missing with status indicators for your buffs, debuffs, and minions and things like that.
Yeah, because you were playing a Warlock, I was playing a Dragon Knight, which essentially plays like an enhancement shaman from WoW. But the thing is, there's only 5, I think, available slots for your normal spells, and then you have your ultimate ability. And as you use these spells, they level up as they do in the Elder Scrolls games. But in MMOs, your DPS rotation is generally more than just 5 spells, and then you got crowd control, snares, and all that sort of stuff. I'm not sure how it's going to play later on.
Yeah, anyone familiar with WoW will probably be used to by the late game, having a screen just full of all sorts of action bars, icons everywhere, 20, 30 different spells that they rotate. And in this, they really have cut it down just to 5. My guess is it's suiting it for the console audience, because this will be on Xbox One and PS4, and making it a bit more controller friendly.
Yeah, and it's also playable with a controller on the PC as well. So I'm not sure how all that's going to work out, but from what we've played, I've really enjoyed so far. The story experience was actually quite good. They put it all out there in the beginning. They tell you what's happening in the world, your role in the world, and I think it's just presented really nicely.
There are a lot of cutscenes, everything's voice acted, a lot of dialogue. There's the classic books and lore in the background, all the kind of Skyrim trappings. There's a big world to explore. The quests are very immersive. They escape from the traditional MMO tropes. It took a long time until I had my first kill 10 of this enemy mission or anything. Everything they try to get you involved with the story and try and make it a bit unique each time. Yeah,
and certainly the world itself is really big, really immersive. It's actually a pretty good looking game considering it's an MMO, and the PvP is just absolute chaos with lots of people in there. But hopefully we'll be able to experience more of it when it comes out in April. I'm really looking forward to it. It will be a subscription MMO, and I don't know if it'll be lasting, whether the Elder Scrolls fanbase is big enough to support it before it goes free to play, but I guess we'll see. Well, they're trying their hardest to channel all the nostalgia from Morrowind, from Oblivion, from Skyrim into this game. I think they've done pretty well.
I think it's a really great idea, because I remember when Skyrim came out, all anybody could talk about was how cool would this be if I could play as an MMO, just quietly.
While it isn't Skyrim with multiplayer attached, it still is a good, solid MMO.
Well, it's still engaging with other people.
Yeah, and something that I didn't get to talk about in a review a lot was the PvP, and I was really pleased with the PvP. It's a huge zone, and you just have constantly lots of objectives, and it's really fun when there's lots of people in there. You're sieging forts, you're stealing Elder Scrolls, and just 3 factions all fighting in one place, taking over supply lines. It works really well, and I want to see how it works with even more people.
Now, how many people were screaming out Fuzrodar, in the middle of this game?
Probably a few people.
Because taking arrows to knees and all the old horrible memes that
and the Daggerfall guards are just as bad.
Oh, really?
So hopefully they add a few more, some voice lines for the guards, because it does get arrow to the knee bad at times.
Well, it also depends on the longevity of this game, I suppose, as well. It was something that was mentioned is, how is this game going to be faring in 6 months' time?
Yeah, and Jordan was saying that, well, I'll pay the subscription until it goes free to play soon anyway, so we won't have to pay too much. Hopefully they can make it work, and the subscription model, hopefully they can make it work and make some money out of it, because they have put a lot of money into this game.
Yes, but on that note, we do have to wrap it up, I'm afraid.
Yeah, so Supernova is coming up.
It starts in April. It's the Brisbane and Melbourne leg, and there's going to be Lucy Lawless from Xena. Like, oh my gosh, that'd be amazing. We're going to have voice actors from Adventure Time, the girl who played Ash. Like, it's going to be huge.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
that's coming up starting April. Take it away, T.
So visit our website, www.newgameplus.tv.
Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/NewGamePlusTV.
And follow Twitter @NewGamePlusTV. And our Twitch.
Oh, Twitch, yes, Twitch. Twitch. Thank you, Timmy. We'll see you guys next time.